This is a meeting of September 5th, 2023. Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press, the Middletown Sun, and the Trooper Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk on January 5th, 2023. Commissioner Park.
Here.
Committeewoman Kratz. Here. Committeeman San Marino.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Here.
Mayor Perry.
Here.
Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Our moment of silence for the troops serving worldwide, defending our constitutions, freedoms, and way of life. Thank you. First item on tonight's agenda, we have a proclamation recognizing September 23rd, 2023 as Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month in the Township of Middletown. At this time, I'd like to invite Infinite Love founder and president Andrea Burden-Borsinger, and Love for Lucas, Lauren Moore, and Sam Calder, and the Nolfi family to please join Mayor Perry in front of the room. Yes.
And your dad.
Well, good evening, everybody. Obviously, welcome to September. Happy September, everybody. I always get a little choked up when I have to do this presentation year after year, unfortunately. And Andrea knows too well all that goes into not just proclaiming something, but taking action when action is required. And Infinite Love for Kids undoubtedly has stepped up to the plate time and time again for so many of Middletown's families for the little things, right? It's the research and all that goes into it is wonderful. But I know it goes beyond that, especially for the parents. It's the comfort level, it's the phone calls, it's the letters, it's all the great things that go even further than that funding can ever go for a parent. The phone calls, just that shoulder to be emotional on. It's all that encompasses it, and to have this culmination of an organization, not just Infinite Love, but the Love for Luca 5K. It rings true to me because in my tenure as the mayor and as a member of this governing body, you hate to see an organization have to exist like Infinite Love. For all that you do, Andrea, I know you would be rather doing something else because no kids were being diagnosed with pediatric cancer. But unfortunately, we have to face reality. And I'm so humbled and honored that an organization like that exists, that a tragedy where a Middletown family loses a young boy can rally so beyond the mortal part of Luca's life and continue to create a legacy that exists well beyond the length of his life. And I was passing by Harmony the other day, and there's a tree planted outside of Harmony School in honor of Luca. And I remember being there, and this is before I had kids, and thinking like I can never imagine losing a child. But when you realize that Skylar and this family, what they go through, you don't appreciate it until you hear from those directly impacted. And Skylar and I met at your 5K. Tutu Trot. And she had the most beautiful tutu on at that event, right? And we have an unbelievable picture together that I was just looking at the other day because my daughter was with me that day, and for all that you were going through, you sat there and were waving hello to my daughter. And I just couldn't be more grateful. This township committee couldn't be more grateful to know that organizations, people like you, are here to support and create a community, a sense of love, a sense of honor for those that are going through undoubtedly the roughest point in their life. And to be there during and after is just something that is so humbling and so amazing. So, Andre, I don't know if you want to say a few words or.
I wanted to give my words to the amazing Lauren Moore and Sam Cutler. These two amazing women. So they are the founders of the Love for Luca 5K, where 100% of the proceeds are donated to Infinite Love in memory of Luca. And the really cool part is 100% of those proceeds are also going to rhabdomyosarcoma, which is the cancer that Luca had. And Michelle and Frank are part of the selection process for our research grants. And it's all because of these two. You know, one little thing, someone thinks that they can't make a difference. They had never done a race before, anything like that. And last year they raised over $50,000, $56,000, right? Is how they got connected.
I don't know if I can speak now after that. I'm so emotional. But thank you for those kind words. And I think Sam and I are just two Harmony parents that our kids are now freshmen at North, and Luca would have been there this year. I have to say, today is kind of a hard day for me. It's so, every milestone we hit, I'm so grateful. My kids be there, but I always feel like there's somebody missing. My son was really a very good friend of Luca, and he was diagnosed when they were in 3rd grade, and Luca unfortunately passed in 5th. And throughout his whole treatment, I mean, this kid, he was really affected by chemo, and he would be blowing everybody out of the water, playing football and doing everything like that. He was really, truly an amazing child. And there was a great loss, and as a parent, it was really hard for me. I didn't know how to navigate it. I didn't know how to navigate his emotions. And probably about a year after, he said to me, could we do something to honor him? I was like, wow. And he was a young kid at the time. I was like, sure, what can we do? So I was so impressed with the work that Andrea had done. I had seen how much she had helped Frank and Michelle. So we partnered up, and I brought Sam on, who was amazing. But I know that Andrea said it's because of us. It's not, it's Middletown. Yeah. We brought together so many of his classmates and parents and teachers and community members. They're the ones that raise the money, not us. We are just the figureheads right now, and everybody's pulling together. I think it's a true testament of our town. So it makes me so proud to live here. It made me so proud to be around guys like you too. And we're really hopeful that this year can continue the healing of the kids in our community, and keep inspiring in Luca's spirit, because he really was truly unbelievable. So thank you for having us. Thank you, Middletown, for the support. We couldn't do this without all of you. So thank you so much. And thank you for inviting us here.
And when the race is on.
Oh yeah, I'm not supporting that.
Yes, you got to do a commercial.
So nervous. The race is September 24th at Middletown Township North. So thank you everybody for the permits and the police and all of that for being there. We have the race, we have a kids race. We also have a silent auction. So how you sign up, that's great. So we have flyers out with our QR code in it. We also pass out lollipops that have the QR code on it. So please do that. Also, if you just go on Run Sign Up, you can go on and look for Love for Luca too.
Yeah, or the Infinite Love Facebook page, our website, and you'll see it there too.
Yep, and we're still accepting things for the silent auction if anybody would like to donate to that as well.
Awesome. Well, with that, the saying is, do something out of someone's memory if they can't be with you any longer. And this is an unbelievable achievement that I cannot put into words. And I'm not normally speechless up here, but I do always think back to Luca, and I know exactly where I was sitting when I had heard that he had passed away. because I had just been with him not all that long before that. And I remember being at the Police Youth Week graduation, and Luca had gone through the entire week of Police Youth Week, which is an unbelievable program run by our police department. And Luca, despite everything that was going on in his life, despite all the things that were happening to him, the treatments, he was one of the fastest kids to complete it. And so when you brought that up, I couldn't help but think of him and seeing him at that graduation. But so today, obviously, out of that spirit, raising money for an unbelievable cause, raising money in memory of Luca. But obviously, as we've done in years past, September 2023, I'll just read one or two of these. It states that whereas September of each year is recognized as Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month throughout the nation, and every day 46 kids are diagnosed with cancer, and more than 40,000 children undergo treatment for cancer each year. In Middletown Township, along with 501c3 Foundation Infinite Love for Kids Fighting Cancer, is dedicated to educating and mobilizing people around the critical need for funding for pediatric cancer research. So to help raise money for this important cause, the second annual Love for Luca 5K will be taking place on Sunday, September 24th in memory and honor of Luca Iacono, a beloved 11-year-old, who every time I see Aaron Judge hit a home run, I think of him. 11-year-old resident who was taken by cancer in 2019. Now, I, Mayor Tony Perry, and the Middletown Township Committee do hereby proclaim September of 2023 and every September going forward as Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month in the Township of Middletown. And we encourage the entire community to help grow and keep Luca's legacy and memory alive and honor his life by participating in this year's Love for Luca 5K run. So I'm going to give this one to you because I think you deserve that one, right?
Her is in her maintenance phase, right, of egg well. How much longer to go? A little over a year.
Go over here.
A little over a year. So still a long road ahead, but she was a beast and got through the worst of it, right, girl?
And you'll be here next year to celebrate, right? When that year is done? Okay.
You're gonna be like down to here at the point.
Say
Oh,
loud.
our amazing big sister, Brianna.
All right.
Of course.
We're gonna take a quick picture, I think.
All right, on the count of three, we're gonna say Disney, okay? Because those shirts are really cool. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, Disney. Beautiful,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Always.
You too.
See you later.
See you later.
Great.
Thank you, everybody.
You here?
Yeah, Junior.
Great. Okay.
Our next proclamation, we recognize September 11th, 2023 as Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance in the Township of Middletown. We have a proclamation recognizing September 16th, 2023 as Usher Syndrome Awareness Day in the Township of Middletown. At this time, we have a public hearing of proposed ordinances. Our first ordinance, 2023-3388, an ordinance establishing procedures and standards regarding deployment of small wireless facilities in public right-of-way within the Township of Middletown.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2023-3388? Seeing no member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yeah.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. At this time, we have a public hearing on proposed ordinance 2023-3389, an ordinance authorizing acceptance of deed of conservation easement upon a portion of Block 698, Lot 12.01, also known as 59 Oakland Avenue.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2023-3389? Yep, Don?
Good evening. My name's Don Watson, living at 1 Collinson Drive. For the meeting, Ted was talking a little bit about Oakland Drive, Oakland Avenue or something over, this is in the Navasink section off of First Avenue? Correct?
First Avenue, right?
Okay. Got me to thinking, there's that storm drain on First Avenue that's been blocked off and floods the street. Is this conservation easement going to help that at all?
It's not related to that. That
It's
storm
not?
drain you're talking about was repaired a couple months ago.
Oh, it
First
had?
Avenue.
All right, 'cause maybe a month ago, I drove up First
Near
Avenue.
that, not far from there, but that storm drain was actually repaired by a contractor
Yeah,
in July,
and it functions correctly now?
which is great.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. So I drove up First Avenue about a month ago and it looked like there was still like bales of hay around it, like it hasn't been repaired yet.
I forget the exact date, but it's been done for a while now.
Okay, cool. I was just curious.
The pipe was replaced, and the inlet rebuilt.
Very good. Thank you.
Thanks, Don. Any other member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2023-3389? Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeeman Clark? Committeewoman Kratz?
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. At this time, we have an introduction of proposed ordinance 2023-3390, an ordinance adopting Circus Liquors redevelopment plan amendment for the delineated area consisting of Block 825, lots 53.02, 53.03, and 55.01, formerly Block 825, lots 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69.01, 70, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, and 81. Block 825, lots 58 and 70. Block 870, lots 1 and 2, within the Circus Liquors redevelopment plan area.
Now that I know Heidi can count from 53 to 81,
Skipping numbers.
but motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held September 18th, 2023. Tonight, on our known action items, I'd like to ask the Township Committee to adopt a consent agenda, which would include resolutions 23-231 through 23-237, including the appointment of firefighter Jack Morgatke.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt consent agenda. We have no discussion items tonight, and now we have Township Committee comments.
Committeeman Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll keep them brief. Throughout my adult life, I've been involved with pediatric cancer, specifically through the Infinite Love family. I've had the opportunity to help them raise money, raise awareness. I've also had the opportunity to get to know quite a few of the kids, and it's inspiring. It's humbling. It's every emotion that you could possibly imagine is what's encompassed by it. And the strength of the families is inspiring. The strength of the children is even more. And I normally have my head shaved for tonight, and there was a scheduling conflict, so hopefully for the next meeting, I'll come in with a clean shaven face and a bald head, and we can talk about it a little more. Yeah, Rick volunteered. So did Kevin. Uh, So, one of the things that I've started doing, realizing that sometimes the littlest things can make the biggest difference, and it's just, you may or may not notice it, but I wear a gold tie to every meeting. And I have a choice of what color ties I can wear, but I choose the gold tie because it's a nod to the Infinite Love family and pediatric cancer every month, because although we recognize September and it's made huge strides in designating a month, it's something that should be talked about all the time. And I'm just glad that we take the time as a committee and as a township to recognize it, and thank the public for everything that they've done to help create the awareness that we're helping draw attention to. That's all I got tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll agree with Committeeman Clark's comments, and very well spoken, and I have no other comments for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. As a parent, it's unimaginable that your child would have to endure or battle such a thing as pediatric cancer, why that even exists in our world today. But it does make me proud and really just thankful that there are families like the Infinite Love families and others out there that could offer their support and their guidance and their care for other families having to endure the very same thing. So what struck me the most was, that the ladies were talking about Middletown and how proud they were to have been from here. And it's just, again, just a testament of our community, how our community has always come together, will always come together, especially for our young people. So I just wanted to offer my prayers and support and continuing hope that we won't be talking about this from years to come or next year. But thank you, Mayor.
And congrats, Deputy Mayor.
I have to echo my committee members' comments. All good stuff here. I do have some exciting news here. This is just breaking news here very soon. The mayor just advised me on September 24th to run for Luca. He will be wearing a tutu this year. So I expect everyone to sign up to see it firsthand.
Pay extra.
So- I just want to wish all the Middletown students heading back to school today. Hopefully their first day was a great day. Was nice. It was nice, but so real seeing the buses on the streets and everyone heading back to school. My kids will be starting in a couple more days, so it was nice to see everyone today. So I wish them the best of luck and all the professionals this year. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I've talked quite a bit about this, and it is always emotional because unfortunately this 5K has to take place because a young boy lost his life and lost his battle. But to see what has come out of it is just unbelievable. So with that, I don't think I have anything else more to add. Other than I signed you up for the 5K, so just be
It's a
aware.
pink tutu, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
All right, I'll open it up for public comment. Any member of the public wishing to make a public comment may do so. Ask that you state your name and address for the record, and that you keep your comments to 5 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll let you know that you have 1 minute remaining. With that being said, any member of the public wishing to make a public comment? Come on down, Melanie. You looked around like you were nervous.
We're going to be raising their hands.
Mhm.
Melanie Elmiger, Green Tree Terrace in Lincroft. First, I just want to applaud this committee for all of the park investments you've done, particularly this year. During COVID, the county parks were closed completely. And I really utilized and got to know the township parks much better. And with all these improvements, I think more and more people will be using them. So thank you for that. And I also want to acknowledge Jerry Johnson with the parks, with the Department of Public Works. He's in charge of maintaining the parks, and he's new in that position, I believe. Maybe he's been supervisor for just this year, maybe.
Jerry's been a supervisor for a while, and he's in charge of all the parks on the south side.
Oh, okay. So I just was introduced to him last month. He came to the Village Green, and he did some maintenance work where he removed some brush and some dead trees and things. You know, the park was constructed about 2001, and he was actually there when it was constructed. He remembers it being a forest and cutting the trees and, you know, managing everything in order to clear and construct the park. So I think he's kind of invested. You know, he wants to kind of bring it back to that early glory. And, you know, the Lincroft Village Green Association is right with him, you know, to try to do some more plantings and, you know, increase the irrigation and things like that to really make it nice. Because we hear all the time, people come by and they're like, I never knew this park was here. I love this because it's quiet. And it's a great place to teach your kids to ride their bike. And, you know, you do see people kind of meditating or walking, eating their Jersey Mikes. So, you know, we're happy that people are using it. And then my only other question is for Ted, for the Acme Road, now that we have the easement agreement and that, is there a clear definition of who's responsible for what with cutting and cleanup? Like, is the property owner, are they responsible for just the road and the grass on either side, and the township does the Middletown Lincroft Road side, or?
Well, essentially, we'll be responsible when the road's put in for the entire roadway through that area.
But what about at this point, like with a lot of the weed overgrowth that's like kind of blocking? Usually around August, we always get that where it's just overgrowing towards the sidewalk and on either side of the sidewalk. So like the sight line.
You're talking about the Middletown Lincroft roadside?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. We'll have to check and see when
Okay.
that takes effect, but
Okay.
you know, eventually we will be responsible for all of that.
Okay. Last year you cut it. I don't know if that's something they look at or whether they just remind the
Yeah.
property owner. So it's just getting a little over.
We'll probably go
overgrown.
back and do that again this time of year, and that's Jerry Johnson again, actually. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Who, by the way, started here when he was 16 years old, Jerry Johnson, so you know.
Oh, my
he's been here
gosh.
Many years, yeah.
Yeah, he could not have been nicer. And I'll tell you, he looked like he was having fun in that front loader. Yeah, he was, yeah, he did a lot of work. And, you know, I was,
First birthday
Yeah,
to
yeah, exactly right.
I think they started at 7 a.m. Like they got out
Yep.
there, like hit it, and they did an amazing job. So we're very happy. They made our parking lot twice as big, I think, because they cleared out all the overgrowth and a lot of the weeds and the broken fence and that. So,
Yeah.
all right, thank you so much.
Any other member of the public wishing to make a public comment? Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and adjourn. Second.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz,
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn.
Have a great night, everybody. Thank you all.